And joining right now is Rahul Gautam. He's the executive chairman of Sheela Foam. And let's begin by discussing what the demand trends have been like, particularly for the domestic and the international market. I'm a little bit more curious about because there were some demand headwinds over here. Have things stabilized?
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me. I can't say that they've stabilized. I think they're still oscillating. And it all started off with the COVID. But definitely the frequency and the intensity and the periodicity has kind of slowed down. But the markets are still oscillating. And each one of them, we have presence in Australia and Spain, which is in Europe, and India. Each one has dynamics of its own, very different from each other.
We've been speaking to real estate developers. Then when we had representation from Magic Brick, all of them are excited about the real estate trends, which is the demand in real estate is going higher. If the demand for real estate is going higher, that means home upgradation is something which would be natural and it would be obvious. Can you feel that tailwind in your business where new home demand, new house upgradation cycle has started?
Yes, you're right that we do experience what's happening in the real estate market, and we believe that sometime it has to carry on or converge with our industry. But all historically, it shows that there is generally about a 2-year time lag between the real estate going up and the internal or the home improvement materials having an uptake. So, even keeping that things are shrinking as far as time frames are concerned, I expect another 6 months or so before we see the same kind of intensity as we are seeing in the real estate. I would say Q2 onwards, we should begin to feel it.
In the area which you represent, which is the entire foam industry or the mattress industry, there is a huge play of unorganized versus organized. How has that ratio evolved in the last couple of years?
Last couple of years actually include the COVID period and the subsequent period after that. So those times when there were pressures on average selling points and average selling prices, etc., there was, I would say, a little bit of a trend which was in the other direction, which was moving from the organized to the unorganized. But that was there for a short time. Now it's turning back, and the entire, let's also see that the segment is not a top of the mind segment. Therefore, there has to be constant advertisement and promotion for it to be brought to the top of the mind, which is really one of the triggers for shifting it from the unorganized to the organized. There has been a reduced play by the industry, both on promotions and advertisements. But it's picking up. It's getting back to normal, and we can feel it and sense it. Can we measure it as yet? Probably not. We do have surveys once a year to really figure out that what's the market size of the unorganized and the organized, and the next one is due somewhere in the middle of this year, which is June, July. That should really give us a true picture. But what I'm speaking is purely from a sense of market as we experience it.
Mind is the size of the market, and what your mind is the growth of the market, and where do you fit in? Because you've already given a 15 to 18% aspirational number. How big is higher than what is the industry benchmark if I have to compare the number?
So industry benchmark has been more like between 8 to 10%, say 9%. And that's what we expect in the coming times. But the question that you asked, the size of the market. So majority of the market is still in what I would say in the rural sector, which is 65% of the country sleeping on some kind of cotton mattresses, dharis, chatais, etc. And in the modern mattress market, 20% of that, out of the 30%, 20 is the unorganized and 10 is the organized one. Undoubtedly, if you take a little longer period, the organized one has been growing at a higher rate, more like, as I said, 9 to 10%, while the unorganized one has been hovering around 6-7%. But this percentages have to change, and they were beginning to change till whatever the big impact that we had. But now the trend is back in that direction. So keeping that in mind and keeping what all the efforts that we've done, we feel that the 15% is completely achievable.
Including the acquisition, right? So I'm assuming that 15 to 18% what you're sharing with us, it includes the Kurl-on acquisition.
Yes, it includes the Kurl-on. We will have to provide the time for the integration to get completed. Though I must say that we have been pleasantly surprised. Most difficult part of any kind of integration is really the HR integration. Touch wood for that. That's happened well, and that's like a big hurdle off. All the other synergies which would arise out of integration are beginning to happen, especially on the back end side, and the front end. I would say another another month or month and a half time. Full-blown impact of the synergies, it would take about 10 to 12 months that we should experience it. But the first step for us was really to get back Kurl-on to its normative states, which to my mind was about 1,000 crore top line and about a 10% plus EBITDA. And I'm happy to share with you that as a run rate, we're already there at the 1,000 crore level. So we're tracking well on that, and we expect things to normalize by the end of this calendar year.
And extension, I mean, typically the number of homes which you're reaching, you start with a mattress and then you move into bed sheets, from then you move into curtains, then you move into furniture. Are you looking at making Sheela Foam more like one solution provider for household needs?
It's a great idea. It's a good thought. I say this with a little bit of skepticism because we have been attempting to do that over the last many years. But I mean, the way that the markets are designed, the places are not the same where you buy bed sheets and where you buy your mattress. I'm not saying that if you go buy a mattress, you probably pick up 1 or 2 bed sheets, but the markets are different. The frequency is different. The basic fundamentals of the products are different. And our experience has been that whenever we have tried to do, let's take bed sheets with the same brand as Sleepwell, and the experience of Kurl-on has been similar. It's not done. People understand Sleepwell as mattress. People understand Kurl-on as mattress. To extend that to another segment, it is going to be a humongous task. So we do have these top of the bed items, which are pillows and duvets and bed sheets, but they are nowhere near what it should be selling from a store. So we are mindful of that, and we will look in the future as to how we can find a way that people can have the differentiation between the two segments.
Okay, thank you so much for taking time out. Good to understand a little bit more about the acquisition synergies, how they're working, as well as what the outlook is when it comes to the trends going forward. All right.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.